everybody. It is me, Maya, and here today. I'm so excited to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yay!
If that's not the cutest thing ever, I don't know what is.
I love it.
That's so good.
And you want it? And your BB-8. Yes. Go play. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Entertainment and Star Wars. My name is Rob. I'm here. You guys are there. I'm glad you're there. We have great YouTubers. I'm really excited and pumped like I was last time. With me, well, it'd be my right, might be your left, I don't know, is the great man from down under, Stevie J Raw. How are you, buddy? How's everything?
Doing well, thanks, Rob. Doing it really well, and so happy to be here, my friend. To catch up with all you great people and the great people in the chat as well. It's always a fun time. And I said this yesterday. I think there's some more appreciation deserved for you, mate. It's because all your videos just have so much heart in them. They have so much soul in them. So I think you deserve a whole lot more appreciation than maybe what you get. But if you're getting it, then it's well deserved. So I'm happy to be here, mate. And thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, man. That's very nice. Everybody in the chat, I'm going to show you right now, Les. Look at this. You got them going. Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Yeah.
Lock her up. Throw away the
Nice.
key.
Nice. Very nice.
Thank you, Miss Entropy, for that.
Did you start this, Les? I just have to know.
Shelby did. It was my daughter.
Your daughter.
It was my daughter.
Sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's mom approved, okay? It's mom approved.
Well,
she let me.
Let's get to speaking with mother and daughter. Here they are, spiritually empowered coaching and Shelbysoup. How are you, ladies?
Yay!
We're so good. I speak up for both of us.
How are you, Shelby? How's everything going?
It's great. Thank you for inviting me. I am glad to get the chat going. I saw mine right there. Sorry, I don't know what I'm even saying, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much. I'm wearing a really hot sweater that is making me sweat, but it's worth it to be here because I need to turn the air conditioning down or up or whatever. But yay, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad to be here with Stevie J Raw and Spiritually Empowered Coaching and Entertainment and Star Wars. It's always a fun time to be with a lot of different people.
By the way, just so
thank you.
I got some super chats I got to get to. You're more than welcome. Listen, I'm glad you guys took time out of your life to come and hang out with me, and it's been wonderful.
Course.
And I wanted to say this live. I want to thank Stevie J Raw. I met him. I got in his channel, started watching his live streams, and then I started branching out to other channels, and I met you guys and through him, and it's been great. So far, the community's starting to grow. We're starting to grow YouTubers, meeting more YouTubers, meeting more people. It's really exciting. It's really exciting to see and to hear people's who's in the chat, their personal experiences. It's sad too, because of what they've been through. Yeah. And I feel bad seeing, but I just want to say this to all the people in chat who've been through something like this. It's really great that you guys have overcome what you've been through someone being stabbed with a knife, someone had a sword. I mean, someone got beaten trying to hide in the bathroom. I've read the comments. I've read these horrible things that have done to a lot of people. And so we all get it here. And what we're all trying to do as a community is get the word out that the person who abuses you is not the one who's the victim, and they do this. It's something that they do. This is not just Amber Heard. This goes in real life. They're the abuser. They're the ones who hurt you. And then they can't come off like, oh, it's all, your fault. You made me this way. No, you didn't make them that way. So remember that none of this is your fault. And none of this is Johnny's fault. Okay. He did everything he could. And we're going to go over that today. Mm-hmm. So I just want to get to some super chats, and catch up. And I want to thank these people. First of all, thank John Lee for a super sticker. I can't see it on StreamYards. It doesn't show me what it is. I can't see it for some odd reason, but thank you. I mean, $5 super chat. That was real nice. John says, lock her up. Got him going. And Miss Anthropology?
Misanthropy.
I can't say these names. I'm butchering people's names. I'm horrible. I'm sorry. I need to go back to
You
my,
got it. You got
daughter's-
it.
She gave me a $2.99
Miss
super
A.
sticker. Miss
Love
A.
misanthropy. Much love.
Yes.
Much love.
Thank
And I
you.
missed
We love you.
somebody. Oh, Kathy with a $25. What's DKK?
What's
I don't know what.
BKK?
Did somebody know? But thank you anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, wow. Thank you.
Mhm.
Man, I got to check these out when I get off the live stream. Jewel Voth with a $5
Jewel.
chat. She's great to see the awesome foursome all in one place.
I love it.
So exciting. My God, you people are fantastic. I don't know what to say. Really, you guys, really, thank you. I mean, seriously. So, I mean, I didn't get to this, and so I'm really curious. We talked about like a couple things that happened last weekend, but we didn't get to the Australia, you know? And since Stevie J's from there, I thought this would be really, really interesting to talk about what happened this week with them in Australia. And I know it happened in the past, but it's been brought up now. Everybody here has showed a video on it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check out everybody's channels, subscribe. They're great people. We've talked about Australia. They went to Australia. Johnny was filming at that time. And as he was filming at that time, Amber decides that she's going to come. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But Australia has certain rules. And if you bring something to Australia, you have to fill out the proper paperwork. She was told by her assistants that, listen, we have to fill out paperwork in order for you to get there, but she didn't care. She thought she'll just sneak them in, bring the dogs in, not let it, no one's going to know. And somebody caught her with I don't know if it was a video camera or a cell phone. What was it, Les?
She took the dogs to go get groomed. So she took the dogs to the groomers, and the groomers took pictures of the dogs and said, "These are Johnny Depp's dogs." And all hell broke loose after that. That was,
yes.
She would have gone. Here's the thing. If she wasn't so, and the problem is that to get away with things, you just act naturally, act like nothing's wrong. And that's exactly what she did. She acted like nothing was wrong. She acted like everything was fine. The dogs were supposed to be there. But for whatever reason, that one picture got to the wrong person. And they're like, wait a minute. Do we have paperwork on Pistol and Boo? Like, how does that even happen? Like,
and apparently she was bragging about it as well.
Pardon?
Apparently she was bragging about it as well. She was, in the pet groomers bragging about how they were Johnny Depp's dogs, and they were so good and this and that, and they got to bring them into the country and everything. And so, but you got to remember as well, and a great point with this, I think, is that pet groomers generally are people who care about pets, right? And they care about stuff like quarantine and diseases, and maybe the other pets in the groomer shop getting sick from something these dogs might have had or brought with them. So the pet groomers, even though there's the whole, hey, I'm grooming Johnny Depp's dogs right now scenario, there's also a theory that they wanted to share them with other people and expose them for doing what she did, because it was putting other animals at risk.
Right.
Yeah, that's possible too. And like I said in the last stream, we all know Amber's not known for her intelligence, but she I think her problem is she is very reckless, as we all know, and she, no matter what, like, I feel like she almost would have ended up doing something, like whether it was that or if it would be something else that would cause her to be exposed, because she has to be the person who says, look at me, I'm so proud of what I've done. So I'm thinking, like with what Stevie said, that it might be something to do with possibly be oh, look, I have Johnny Depp's dogs, look at me, blah blah blah. Or it could be, of course, the other thing you mentioned as well.
Yeah. How you going, Rob? Are you all good, mate?
Yeah, you good over there?
Yep. We're good here. We just lost your picture.
I've lost everything,
Yeah,
including my mind. So really,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rob wanted my take on it, I think, so I'll just give him my take for a second. But from a
Yeah, go ahead.
from the legal standpoint, I think it's really interesting what we saw come out this week, and I think most people saw my stream, or hopefully they did. But I was super excited. I was like a little kid at a candy store, finding out that Amber was going to be investigated by the government over here, and it's just fantastic. I think what really got me excited was the fact that it'd be too easy and all too easy for our government to just forget about it and just let it go, and just we won't worry about that. It happened so many years ago, not a big deal. But the fact that they're actually looking at it again and they're going to investigate is so good. And actually, Lost Beyond Pluto has an awesome video on this. And so watching her video, I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of talk about 14 years imprisonment, which is the penalty for perjury in Queensland. But because which is the state where all this is. But because the law that she was breaking at the time was a federal law, because it was an immigration law, the penalty is actually 7 years. 5 years.
I'll take it.
I thought you said 70 for a second, and I was like, yeah, but not 70.
I thought the penalty was up to 14 years. You guys can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, gotcha, mate. Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. My brother called me and interfered. Sorry.
That's all right. All good. So I was just saying that because the law that she was breaking at the time was to do with immigration, it's a federal law. So the penalty for perjury in Queensland, the state where it took place, is 14 years. But because it's a federal law that she was breaking, it's actually a 5-year penalty for perjury. So it's a little bit different to what we've seen, and the mainstream media don't necessarily report everything accurately, as we know. So it's 5 years. It's 5 years because of the federal crime.
Well, a lot of things we know they do for clickbait. Like everybody tries to get clicks and views, and same thing goes when you write these articles. If they're writing articles and no one's checking them out, then they're not getting any attention. They're not getting paid. I mean, it's just simple math. I mean, that's how it goes. That's they don't do it for free. I mean, that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
So the thing is with her, she snuck these animals in. She didn't do the proper thing. And then she said, like you said earlier, Stevie, oh, it's Johnny's dog. Again, throwing the blame away from herself, even though she knew in advance from everybody that she had to do the proper thing. Mm-hmm. Again, I wish I could get into the brain of this woman. I cannot.
Right?
It's impossible.
Me too.
Everybody in my chat has said that in the comments, that don't try to understand her, Rob, because there is no understanding her. That was a good point. They're right. Why question it? I can't figure it out.
Well, just on getting inside her brain, my friend, you can be rest assured, if you do ever get in there, there's plenty of room. There is plenty of room.
That's true. You're completely right about that.
Walk into a big cave. Hello.
By the way,
it's going to be echoing a lot in there.
I think you'll see in there Johnny and yourself. I think it's full of Johnny. I think her brain is full of Johnny, because she did, even on the stand, she said, because when they were asking her about who asked you to send this message about the greasing of the vet, and she said, oh, Johnny, those are Johnny's words. Yeah, I'm sure Johnny has used that at some point in his life, because in whatever way, not in this capacity or in this way, shape, or form, but I'm sure he has said those words at some point. And so the problem with Amber is that whenever she says, oh, Johnny said that, or those are Johnny's words, yeah, they probably were in one conversation out of his 57 years of this lifetime. Like one conversation. So he could have said that in 1982. She heard about it. She got wind of it. And then she said, well, no, there's that, like, how do you sit up there with the guy standing right there and you put all the blame on him, knowing here's the thing. She knows damn well he can't get up and say, what the F are you talking about? Like, this is ridiculous. He has to sit there and take it. I don't know how he did it. I honestly don't know how he kept his restraint. I don't know how he did any. I give the guy credit. He did a fantastic job.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Not
Yeah.
reacting to any of that.
I just
Well,
want to get
listen
to
to
this. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Shelby.
go ahead.
Just one sec. Miss Beasley gave me $5 super chat, so I want to thank her. It was
Oh.
very
Thank you,
nice.
Miss Beasley.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt everybody because there's a lot
Yay.
going on. I want to
Thank
say
you.
Thank you. And
No, you're fine.
DKK, by the way, I was told is
You're fine.
Denmark. I didn't know what
Oh.
that was. Yeah, it was from Denmark. So this is great. And I was
Excellent.
saying before we went on live, we have someone here
Nice.
from Australia. We have someone from Canada. We have 2 people from the US, and we have people from Denmark now, and all over the. And it's amazing how
Everywhere.
many people, if you think about it, everywhere. And they're not here for me. They're here because what we're talking about. We're talking about Johnny Depp. And so, and when Amber Heard says something stupid on the recording like Johnny, nobody's gonna believe you. Nobody. Look at this. And I'm
We don't believe you now.
Yeah, it's from everywhere. Why on earth would she think, in your minds, that she would say something as stupid as they wouldn't believe him? Why
Because that's what abusers say. We've all heard. We've all heard it. I heard it, and 1,000 other people in the chat have heard it. Like it's just one of those things. And if you hear it enough, unfortunately, I'm sure Johnny heard that over and over. It's not the first time he heard that from her. It was probably like the millionth time, and you start to believe it. You really do. It's if you're told something enough, your brain latches onto it. So. Unfortunately, it just aged very well. It aged badly for her, that comment, because it's like, oh, really, Amber, really? Let's take a deeper look at that one. Like that comment alone, out of your thousands on top of thousands, that one alone. Let's have a deeper look. I had someone from Saudi Arabia the other day. Like that's just. Yeah, so it's not just, and I think she thought that people just wouldn't notice. Like she was bragging that she was bragging she was with a fat old man.
Yeah, that's a great way to talk about people.
Moonshade says, I think just going back to before, I heard that Johnny refused to look at the turd the whole time he was in court. And
I don't blame him.
She was trying to make eye contact with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I believe that.
Yeah, I think I've cracked the code. We're all going to go to the school together to get a degree in psychology or become psychiatrists so that we can figure this stuff out. We're going to become professionals so that we can finally explain to the world what is going on in the mind of this woman.
Well, you know what, guys? I had this out from a client, but this book will actually explain. I don't know. Oh, crap, my light.
Yeah, that's good. Right there. That's good.
Oh, yeah. Do that
Becoming
beauty
the
guru
narcissist
thing.
Nightmares. Okay, how to?
There you go.
How to? You could read it.
It's Becoming the Narcissist Nightmare: How to Devalue and Discard the Narcissist While Supplying Yourself. This is a really great book. Obviously, it's traveled with me for many, many years. It's fantastic. I'm going to, if someone can, like link the linky poo for the Amazon in the chat. It's really good. It tells you, it breaks it all down. And if you read this, it's like Amber's manual. It's her manual. That's how she did it.
And it's funny, I can see you reading because you got your post-it notes and each one.
Oh yeah, I've had this for years, and these are like the most important pages for a lot of my clients. So we keep it out. But yeah, it's a good book, and it tells you a lot, and but it's madness because we're trying to figure it out. We're like, why would she do that? Why would she do something so ridiculous? Why would she think that would work? And it's because they think that they are a little bit superior. She thinks she's unique. Meanwhile, this book is written for her. Like, she's not unique. This is the manual on how to deal with Amber. Too bad Johnny didn't have it beforehand. Too bad a lot of us didn't have it beforehand.
What was that, Shelby?
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Sorry,
the comment was making me laugh.
How was it?
That is great.
I had to show that. VC Leo meant I think I said that right. It says, I have degrees
Yeah.
in both psychology and philosophy. Not
Not
helping.
helping.
That's an amazing comment. You get
That
best
is-
comment of all time.
That we need to like have that embroidered on something and send it to like we need. It's not helping. My education just isn't helping.
We
Jules
need
says-
it because it's true.
It is. You're right. Jules says there is some research being done on emotional trauma and the effect on the brain. Briefly, things don't register the same, and there is temporary numbness. I can personally attest to that is true. That's interesting.
Interesting.
It's great. It does mess with your brain and the neural connections and stuff like that. Like my brain was a mess for the longest time. It still is actually. It still is, but for it's.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just trying to find mine. I don't know if it's there or not. Sometimes I'm like, all right, hello, you're working or not. So I can't tell you if mine's working, but I have no idea.
I question mine daily. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, wow.
Hey, don't feel bad because we all know Amber has echoes going on in there. So, like Stevie said.
Oh, Linda A. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know. Again, this is just proving how throughout the world, how many people love Johnny. And here we go again with some support from my channel. And I thank you. 50 SEK is about $6. I don't care if it was $1. It's just the thought that you did that. And that's irrelevant to me. And I can't thank you enough. Really, everybody who's been so nice to help me with my channel. I felt I needed to explain like this to avoid confusion. Loving these live streams with you all. Well, thank you. Thank you. We all listen, we all appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we all we all try hard because we're all fighting for the same thing. And if you're not out there and you're not fighting for justice, for what's right, and then I don't know what you're fighting for, because I like when people like jump to Amber's side, like why? Well, she's admitted what she's done. We've had the recordings. We've seen what she's done. She has a past history of doing these things, and people are still there. Oh yeah, well we got to believe her. We got. I said this on my Twitter. I said TMZ has yet to, and I put them out there. I put that out there last night. TMZ, you have yet to apologize for showing the edited version. You have yet to come in public and say, listen, we were wrong, because I know it's too hard for them to do. Yeah. To say we were wrong and put the unedited version and put the truth out there. And why isn't the media doing this, guys? Yeah. Why aren't they doing
I'm gonna tweet them after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too, actually. I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna tweet with the full kitchen video and say, what the hell? Like, and even someone emailed me a clip from ET Canada. And ET Canada is like ET, but a Canadian version. And it was just ridiculous. And so I tweeted it out last night, and I'm disappointed. They were saying it was mutual abuse. And the girl was like, oh, I talked to Amber a few years ago and I just felt so bad for her. And I had some really choice words for them. Very choice words. Because they're saying it's mutual abuse. So now you're telling every single person who's in this situation that it's mutual. You're doing a bang up job with that one. And you're not even reporting the truth. Like you didn't, because they were talking about how Sia supported, and they're like, do they? And so they were going up, well, does Sia know Johnny? I'm like, does she need to? And they were like, don't understand where she's getting this information from, without even saying, hey, she found this video, which was incredibly averages. She found this video. She's seen this, and this is where she's coming from. No, they ripped Sia apart and just said, well, we don't know why she would do this, because she sees the problem. We don't need to know Johnny personally to stand up and say something's very, very wrong here. I was just disgusted.
I used to think you had to be somewhat intelligent to, be a journalist. Like I used to think that like there had to be intelligence there. Like, you have to work hard, and a lot of times hard work is associated with intelligence. But I've come to realize, no, there is not, because the mainstream media is completely horrible. And it just drives me crazy. Like you were just saying, like, how can you say that somebody didn't do their research, like Sia, when you didn't even do your research? Like, what do you just want to like blurt out anything that just comes into your head? Like, you're not even looking into it. You're not researching it. And that's why I'm like, we need to just all not even watch it anymore, because eventually if we stop, their stuff is going to tank. And like, I don't get my information from them anymore. I don't
No.
trust anything in the mainstream media. You can't.
No,
It's garbage.
Not after
Yeah.
this debacle.
Well, it's really interesting. I got and I agree with all of your comments. And I got a tweet last night, or it was to me and a few others, but I got a tweet come across, and it was from a guy who said, or a person who said that they were always looking at this case from afar. And I see this so often. They were looking at this case from afar as if, it's just a surface level thing. It's a tabloid, Hollywood, all that kind of stuff, just a generic kind of Hollywood drama. And they went on to say in their comment that they're really thankful that they dove down into the rabbit hole and found out more about it. And now they said they were literally crying watching the videos and Incredibly Average's videos and hearing the audio and all of that kind of stuff. And now on the other side of it, 100% support Johnny and support everyone else who's supporting him as well. So I found that really interesting, and it was a great comment, some great feedback to get back from just an everyday person, just someone out there like all of us really, that didn't see or didn't know what was going on, took a deep dive down into all the information, and then came out the other side and was like, how can this be happening? It's such injustice.
Yeah.
And the mainstream media simply refuse to watch any of Incredibly Average's videos. Just watch one.
Yeah.
Just one. And
takes.
there's enough in there. There is enough in there to convince you. So, I find it, it really, it's negligible. I mean, it's negligent. It's negligent that they don't do this, in my opinion, because it's all there. It's all there, but they simply won't look at it, won't talk about it or anything like that, because they just want to keep saying, believe Amber, believe all women, and just sticking with that narrative. And somewhere along the way, which is probably quite a long time ago now, but they just decided the truth doesn't matter anymore. The truth just doesn't matter anymore whatsoever.
It doesn't.
And it's really disappointing. It's disgusting, really.
It is disgusting.
It is. And what gets me is that it is across the board worldwide that I've had people from all over tell me, like, I don't even get this in my country. When I first started covering this, I don't know about you guys, I got so much backlash, so much. And I accidentally let it slip. I said something about poor Johnny, because I was trying to look at it from both sides. When I first started, I'm like, okay, let's go into this both sides. Hello.
Oh my God.
I just wanted to show you real quick. I just wanted to show you.
I love it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh my God. I'm coming over right now. I love it.
I just wanted to show you real quick.
I
Go
love
ahead,
I
I'm
forgot what I was
sorry,
talking
I'm
about. My head's full of puppy dogs and kittens now.
sorry.
I'm in my happy place. Oh God.
Well, let me put it to you this way. A lot of people were saying, and I just read this in the chat, I should have kept it up. Let's go with Three Sisters in One. They said that they are afraid of getting called out for not supporting an abused woman.
Yes.
Well, they're idiots. They're stupid because I'm sorry if people want to get mad at me, go ahead. But they're idiots because the mainstream media, they're idiots because you think that you're going to get yelled at for not defending an abused woman. Well, the thing is, you have all this information out there. You're going to get yelled at for being a bunch of jerks for not telling the truth. Like, would you rather be ridiculed for like supporting something that isn't true or ridiculed for supporting something that is? I would rather get the most backlash in the world and do the right thing than be a piece of garbage. Yeah.
And that's just it. Like but it's across the board, across the world that they're not reporting on this. It's almost like Murdoch and it's smelling a little musky in here.
There's a gust of musk.
There's a gust of musk blowing through. Like it's almost like Murdoch got a hold of them and said, the narrative is Johnny is this, and don't you ever deviate. If you deviate, it's almost like their jobs and their livelihoods are on the line. Like that's what it feels like. Because I'm looking at these people, and I'm like, but why can't you see it? Like, because then I start thinking, what the hell did I miss? Like, am I missing an entire year where Johnny actually did this? Like,
yeah.
what am I missing? And I kept asking myself that, and obviously, like, missing nothing, not a beat, not a beat. And I just don't understand. And but if this is where people are getting their, like, if Amber stands, people are allowed to support and not support whoever the hell they want.
Right.
But if this is where a lot of people are getting their information from, like, if they don't think, well, let me go on YouTube and see, you know, that's not people's train of thought. I'm just going to go check this out on YouTube and see what the guy down the street has to say. So the fact that we're the only ones reporting on the truth, so the world at large actually does believe that he is this guy, because they can't be bothered to just admit it. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I was wrong, and here's why I was wrong, and I see I was wrong, and I'm so sorry.
But that's the thing, you know, I find it funny with everybody. Like, listen, I've done videos in the past, and because I was a Star Wars channel, so we did speculation what was going to happen. Some I got right on point, a lot I got right on point, but there was some I did wrong, and I know I did wrong. And as I said, if someone pointed out, so yeah, I did it wrong. It was totally my mistake. You know, I said this, but that didn't happen. And again, it was speculation, rumor, and stuff like that. Here, it's pretty clear, cut, and dry. When someone admits on a recording that they did A, B, and C, how do you not see this? How do you not come out? Like, they were so quick. Oh, Johnny Depp's at it again. Johnny Depp. Like, I was seeing, again, I didn't cover this 3 or 4 years ago because I wasn't really a YouTube creator then. And I didn't really follow this until this year.
Yeah.
So when I go back and I catch something from years ago, and I'm like sitting there like, so where's the updated version? Where are you guys coming out and saying, well, Amber Heard's at it again. Look what she's doing, you know?
It really does seem. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, for all those who are questioning why you're getting the wrench now, it's because it's real simple. I moderate everybody unless they're not, you know, they don't come to the channel often. So, because I don't want anybody to get kicked out. Sometimes I get a troll in here and they like to cause problems. So I'm like, no, you know what? Everybody who comes in here often or just comes in once in a while or who I know, I try to put a wrench there because, I mean, you're just part of the channel. You don't need to be a member to do that. I don't have a membership yet, but I just want to make sure that no one comes in here and tries to do anything stupid to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving everybody who I see a lot in here a wrench. Yeah. So, you know, because you guys are important to me and I don't want anybody, you know, you're part of the channel. This is your channel. You know, it's my channel, your channel. You know, you get the point. I hope you get the point. So, but go ahead.
So,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, just to clarify that, Rob. Sorry, Shelby. Just to clarify that, Rob, on the wrenches. So what Rob said there is true. He loves all of you guys, and all of those wrenches are for support and for help and all of that kind of stuff. But he told me before this that he gave me mine because I'm a tool. So don't forget that part, Rob. That symbolizes who I am.
Tools. You hear that?
Yes. We had a meeting. And we said it. we all said, "What do we all think about Stevie?" And it was across the board. The guy's a tool. So,
sorry, Shelby. Sorry.
No. Don't worry. Yeah, no. I was just gonna say that it's real. I'm starting to get these really like creepy, like weird vibes that like the world is almost being controlled, like in some ways, because how we're saying that it's everywhere that they don't want to tell the truth. Like, what is wrong with the brains? Like, are these people mind controlled? And like, it's worrying me because, especially, not to get too off topic, but on YouTube, I think we were all talking about this. Weird stuff has been happening in YouTube. They want us to be quiet too. They don't want us to keep going. Did you see
that? A couple of my friends who were doing other channels, right, whatever, and they popped in and said, hey, you're not gonna know what happened, but you know, my password got changed, or I can't get into my account, or I'm like, but why? What happened? And I noticed that this week, a couple of people who I knew were getting locked out of their account, locked out of their Twitter all of a sudden, and I'm like, what's going on here? You know, like, I feel that YouTube, and then what they do is, to my other friend's channel, he's more political than I am. So he does a very political channel, and they start demonetizing videos, which means, for those of you who don't know what that means, they don't get paid for it. So if they get 10,000 views, they don't get a dime for it. If they get 100,000 views, they don't get a dime for it.
That sucks.
So a video, like, his channel's growing, and he does a lot of political, and they're like, well, YouTube doesn't particularly find your comments to be something of our nature. so we're going to demonetize your video. Or I've had friends who had live streams and they're having a good time, and all of a sudden the stream is gone. It's gone. And I'm like, did they just knock out their live stream? And they had 4 or 5 guests on, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it doesn't go, if you're not going to tow, and that's the problem across the board, is that everyone's going to have a different opinion. Everyone is allowed to have an opinion. We're allowed to have it, and we're allowed to voice it in certain moderator. You know, we can't go hurting people. We can't go dragging people down. Just say, I don't agree with you, and that's cool, because it doesn't hurt anyone what I believe in. It doesn't.
Right.
My opinions, my thoughts are not hurting other people. So, but when you have such a big company who I'm sure YouTube somewhere along the line also is controlled by mainstream media. There is a connection there somewhere. So they're like, anyone who does not think the way we do, nope, they're not welcome. It's almost like we need to like take over a certain part of the world and just go live quietly and happily and just all be able to think our own thoughts. Like it is, I'm about to call Muskie and suck up and like get myself a ride to Mars.
Well, we're all going together. We're all going together.
Dear God, we got to do something, because like what does it matter if I support Johnny and not Amber? What does it matter? Like what does it matter? Who cares?
It really shouldn't matter. Did you guys see what happened to PewDiePie and his channel?
No,
So,
they were saying
something
about
happened with him too. Yes, I heard, but I didn't get the details.
So he got shadow banned. Basically, he went. So just to give some context, when he's got 105 million subscribers, so just one or two more than us. Just one or two more than us.
Lock Shelby up. Oh, Gary. We have time, Gary. We could actually get there one day. We have time. Sorry, go ahead. What was going on with PewDiePie?
You were saying about PewDiePie?
So he's got 105 million subscribers. He normally gets around about on an average about 4.5 to 5 million views per video, and that can be on anything. Like he could be brushing his teeth and he'll get 5 million views, right?
Right.
But,
it's true.
and also he gets about 3 on his posts, his community posts that you see, on the YouTube notifications. He gets about 300 to 400,000 engagements on his posts, right? His community posts. So the other day, I think it was maybe not yesterday, the day before, something happened to his channel and his videos. You couldn't find him in search at all. His no notifications were going out to any of his subscribers at all.
Wow.
And his community posts went from 300 to 400,000 engagements down to 25,000 engagements. So YouTube completely, and the quartering put it in a really good way. They quarantined his channel. Like you couldn't actually get to his channel if you wanted to search a video or search PewDiePie. It just wasn't coming up in
what
search
was this
anywhere.
over? What did he?
Yeah,
talk
why?
about?
Well, as you can imagine, PewDiePie wasn't happy about it. So he got onto them and they did fix it, but they just basically gave the generic response that it was a glitch and a this and a that. But the theory is that they were doing testing on his channel and testing some kind of algorithm change or doing some other kind of test, and they wanted to use his channel to test it out on. But I mean,
tell him though.
But this is the thing though.
Yeah.
I mean,
PewDiePie's channel, Cat PewDiePie.
I would think that PewDiePie would be the best friend of YouTube because he gets them so many views, gets them so much money every month, every day, every post, everything. So, but he's also had disagreements with them in the past. So they seem to be going okay at the moment, but he's had big disagreements with them in the past. And then they've talked to him and told him, made certain deals with him to say you can't stream on other platforms and things like that. So, for example, he used to stream on Mixer, and they told him no more. We'll do this deal with you, and you can only stream exclusively on YouTube. So they've got obviously a big relationship, being he's the biggest creator in the world. But it was really, really odd that they just shut off all of his channel, shut everything off. So
stupid.
It's not fair. It's
They
not
do
cool.
really,
and-
really strange things.
Yeah, it's not. And no, I just wanted to say one thing. I know they like it's a lot of it is that they're kind of, I guess, sort of silencing people in some ways. But what I don't understand is why. Like, is it so that they don't have to like? I don't know how YouTube works. So if I sound uneducated here, then please forgive me. But like, are they trying to save money or something by not giving, like, letting our accounts be recognized and giving it to certain ones that they only like? You know what I'm saying? Like, how exactly does that work? Like, is it something to do with them being selfish, or is it just them being a bunch of jerks and just trying to pick and choose what they think is okay?
I think it's
Yes.
Yeah, all of it. Yes,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's
And
the
it's all about
thing.
money.
They like listen. They used to have people who made children's videos. This is before all these restrictions came.
Yeah.
And what happened? And they were doing well. You could have like Ryan's World. I'll give you an example. Makes millions, has millions of subscribers.
Yeah.
There's my daughter watches this guy called Blippy, and she loves him, and he's got millions. And these are guys who are just basically children's channels. They'll show children's toys, and they'll just do that. They made restrictions for that because they got sued because they were showing advertisements during children's videos, and they couldn't do that.
Right.
So now the YouTube creator who gets revenue from ads, revenues from super chats, revenues from other avenues, this was just a way of taking it away from them. Now they're like, oh my God, now I'm going to lose my ad revenue. How much? So, but YouTube sometimes does things like with politics. Okay, they didn't like my friend's political point of view, so they said, well, we don't agree with it, so we're going to monetize your video this way. You don't get the money. I think it's wrong. It's like
just
saying,
because someone doesn't agree doesn't mean that and here's the thing, just because you don't agree doesn't mean that you're right.
exactly.
Right? No,
Yeah,
that's,
exactly. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
That's what I
right.
always say. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No,
I
but
feel
it's
that.
just so
It's like
stupid.
you can
Yes.
say you're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
You can have that scenario as well.
Okay.
But with
Just
just
because you disagreed. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't hear you.
No, I just had a super sticker real quick from Linda Potter.
Linda.
Linda.
I actually got to see it because I have it on my other phone, so I could see it. So she said, "Thank you." No, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for helping me with the channel. I really appreciate it. And actually, with some of the money, I actually just bought a microphone that I'll be testing out in one of my new videos. So yeah, I do take the money. And for my gamer friends, I actually bought a game. So yes, I do take the money and I do invest it so that you guys, I can try to build a better product and make the videos better. I'm also working, so you guys know, on a green screen because I don't know if anybody, this is not Johnny Depp related. I did a fun video, and for my Star Wars fans, they know what it's about, and it was a shout out video. So what I did was I took some YouTubers who I shouted out, and I do this character, and he's called Palpatine. He's the big enemy of Star Wars. So I pretended to be him. I grabbed my daughter's Mickey Mouse doll, and I pretended that Mickey was evil. And all these guys got in there, and they did these videos like their channel was being disrupted. But instead of YouTube, it was me. It was me being this bad guy who was trying to destroy all the YouTube channels. And it was really funny. So, I try to do funny things. So I'm investing in both, trying to get a better microphone, have a green screen. Maybe I'll put Johnny Depp behind me or put something behind me. And so I am, don't think I'm not. That's my goal. My goal is to keep improving, better audio and stuff like that. So I am investing in the channel. So hopefully I go to theme parks now, so some people can see, I'm going to show a little bit of that so they can see my experience and say, oh, wow, maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to check this out. Maybe. So, I'm going to do different things. I'm changing the channel name. I just want to let you guys know all this is coming. I'm working really hard on this. And so that's what I'm trying to do. But I just want to thank Linda that was very nice, and I appreciate it. And again, I appreciate everybody in the chat, and I appreciate everybody. I'm trying to get to as many comments and chats as I can. So don't think, So, but I do want to get to Waldman because that was brought up, and I think we all did a video on that. I think that was covered. So, let's get more into detail. I'm sure you guys might have done a little bit more, but I want to hear your thoughts before I give mine. So we'll start with Stevie J Raw on Adam Waldman. Your thoughts and about the situation.
Well, first of all, when I first heard, I had to, let's just say I had to clean a few things up afterwards because there were some things thrown There was some damage. So
Johnny's the destroyer was in
and-
your house.
and
Wow.
yeah, Johnny came to my house with his magnum-sized bottle of wine, and he was just swinging it around wildly. No, that was me. I was Johnny. I was doing that because I was initially so pissed off about it, but I calmed down. I meditated a little bit, even though I don't know how to do that. I just calmed down, and then I realized, okay, so he's off the case in terms of legally, right, like that, but he's still there in the background. He's a great friend of Johnny, and he wants only the best for Johnny. So I think, and also let's not forget, he's really, really intelligent as well. He's not a dumb guy. So he would have known what the ramifications were, if any, for putting out the tweets and the information that he did. And, let's just mention that it was public domain as well. It was already out there, all this stuff. So he didn't leak anything. It wasn't leaked. It was simply that he was talking about it. So after I calmed down, after I cleaned up all the mess that I'd just created, after I heard this, I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, the judge probably is going down the thought process that even though the information was already out there in the public, the judge did specifically say that he didn't want the case to be tried in the media. So he's been removed from the case for talking about it, not necessarily what he talked about or what the information that he tweeted or messaged out or anything like that. In my opinion, I think that, this is just my theory. I think the judge's comments were, I don't want this tried in the media. So then Adam Waldman was tweeting. Okay, fine. He was tweeting. And so the judge has probably said, well, I said not to do that, so you're off the case. I don't agree with it. I think that everything that Adam Waldman did was with class and was absolutely 100% okay to do. Yeah. And it wasn't private. It wasn't information that was confidential. So I have no issue with that. But I do think that he'll still help. I do think that his friendship with Johnny is motivating him to do everything that he can. And I think Ben Chu is very, very competent as well. And, and great job for Johnny as well. So,
yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Well, you see, I had a very evil moment. I turned into Amber Heard because I was like, oh yeah, I was like, Amber thinks she's getting somewhere and she thinks she won, but I'm like, deep down, she hasn't, because she's thinking, oh, Waldman's out. She's like, in her brain, she's like, oh yeah, I got it. And it's probably chugged a whole bottle of wine to celebrate. But no, I was like, oh, she thinks she got this. Because at first I was irritated. I was like, you know what? But then I was like, no, Amber, I know what's coming to you. Like, no matter what, like, you're not gonna sometimes things aren't what they seem. People were worried at first, but I don't think they have to be too worried because I think there's a lot more to it.
Les, how do you feel about it?
I had the same response as Stevie did. Johnny the Destroyer also came into my area, and man, did he wreck shop once again. So I was upset because I thought, well, dear God, because Kaplan there were many, many court documents that say that Kaplan was the one. And I believe their exact words were, the barn has left the horse. Like, the horse has left the barn when it comes to that situation. Like, the car has left the garage. We are already there. Like, Cappy was notorious for leaking stuff. And a lot of this stuff, and Shelby and I actually talked about this, like who leaked it and how did it get out there? And we have our theories. And I think we actually deduced very logically who it could actually have been compared. Like, if you look at who it was shining a better light on or something, but they did come out. So, and it did help Depp a lot, in my own humble opinion. But the thing is that I had my tantrum, and then I was telling Stevie yesterday that at about 2:00 in the morning, I don't know why I think of this at 2:00 in the morning. I've had ideas during yoga. Like, it just comes up at the most ridiculous times that I should not be thinking about this.
Right.
But
I agree.
Here we are. But I thought, okay, Amber was always chirping on about how Waldman was the monster. Like, it's not Johnny the monster anymore. It's Waldman the monster. And an entire document, it was a dossier on how horrible of a man Waldman is. So I'm thinking, well, if the judge needs to shut Amber up at some point. So let's start getting things off the table that she's complaining about. And because Waldman isn't off the case, he just can't do his job within the Fairfax County Courthouse. That's it. That's all he can't do. Right. And there's no gag order. So the judge did a favor saying, you know, he's still on Johnny's team. He can still do all his amazing work behind the scenes. And Ben Chu, who is equally as strong, can come to the front and do his thing. He still has the same legal team. And now Adam is actually even more open to tweet. He can be the prolific tweeter. He's like, I'm sure he's like, oh, you think I was prolific before? Wait, you wait, because I got something for you. Tell all your friends to follow me because I've got something for you. So I think it might be a good thing. But a lot of people were worried that Adam had leaked it like behind Johnny's back. Like, was it a betrayal for Johnny? And honestly,
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because if he's still Johnny's lawyer, that means that Johnny still, like, I'm sure that Johnny, every time someone betrays him now, that's it. Like, there is no trial period. It is like, you betrayed me, you're out. I'm sure he's come to that point in his life where every single, like, my accountants, my wife's, like, so many people have just come in and just try to take advantage of my kind nature. I'm sure he's done with that. I'm hoping this is my hope, that he is no longer allowing users and people like that into his life. So I'm assuming that if that happened, Waldman wouldn't be his friend. He wouldn't be his lawyer. He wouldn't be nothing. So that's my hope, is that he didn't do it maliciously, but he did. If he did it, and that's the thing, if he even did it, because we don't even know.
Right.
We don't even know. Because I was looking, sorry, go ahead. And I'm just looking for this one document that I found in the court transcripts that was talking about press releases.
Well, I just wanted to get this because Gary dropped this a while ago, and there's so many chats, and I want to try to get to them also. Gary dropped $4.99. He said just a little bit to help, which again, it's very much appreciated. And he said, kudos to what you do, my friend. Thank you, Gary. That's really nice of you. By the way, some people are saying, hey, Rob, hey, but like I'm ignoring them. No, I see you, Trapper Mike. And these are my Star Wars friends. Connor, I see you there, and MMA King. It's funny because even though I focus more on Amber Heard, they still stay with me. They still wait for me to drop a Star Wars video or do a gaming. And I really appreciate that they're staying with me and they're not leaving. And they've been part of this community too. I see that they get a little involved and they'll throw their comments, like my friend Majat, who was here earlier. So I just want to thank them. And some of them are actually getting involved in this because they're like, wow, this is interesting. I didn't know none of this. I just thought it was a celebrity BS thing. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, this is interesting that you're talking about this. And I can't believe that this is someone would actually do these nasty things to this person. But it's true. It's true that I would never think it either. I mean, but there's a lot we don't know. There's a lot out there that, I'm not telling you, when I work in the courthouse, I don't want to bring bad things here, but I've seen things that are really horrifying that people have done. And it would really mess your mind. It messed my mind to the point that I had to transfer out of that courthouse because I couldn't handle, wanting. I was in family court, and there was some really disturbing things that people were doing to each other, hurting each other. One really, oh my God, it was really it was so horrifying that my judge had to get off the bench and started crying in the back. It was that horrifying. And me and the court officer had to go in the back and calm her down. And it was very disturbing and very disgusting. I mean, every word I could think of, it was emotionally draining. And there's been some things like I could not believe. I could write a movie. And, if you think this case is unbelievable, you haven't heard and seen things I've seen with my own 4 eyes. Literally, like in front of my face. Like this abuse happens. It was there. And like I seen a woman come in with sunglasses, like Shelby's one. She had sunglasses, long sleeve shirts in the summertime, long pants. And my judge is like, listen, I know you're here for I'm just going to let you guys know because you don't work in the courthouse. She said, I know you're here for a protective order. And I understand what you're writing, that he abused you, but you're here now, and I need proof. And it's 6 o'clock at night. You need to show me. So she asked her to take off her glasses, and she did. And her eye was just like this. I'm bruised. It's not a bruise that goes away in a day. It's not makeup. You could see purple, yellow. Her eye was hit. Then she told her to roll up her sleeve. She did. She had a mark like this on her arm, and you could see it. I mean, it was and you see she was literally shaking like my camera is right now. Sorry, and she was shaking with fear. This is real. This is real. I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I know it's real. This is another reason that grabbed me into this case. Johnny Depp would hurt somebody? Really? I mean, I knew he's a party animal, but anything could happen. Anybody could do it. It could happen with people you don't even realize it could happen.
Yeah.
It's just possible. I'm not saying he's innocent. Maybe it did. But everything I've gone through, everything we've gone through, points in one direction. It points in one direction, and her name is Amber Heard. And that's the direction it points in. But all she's trying to do is say, I'm an abuser, and these companies are still going to sponsor me, and they're going to have me commercials, and I'm still going to do my L'Oreal. I'm still going to do my Aquaman 2, because they support abusers.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Go ahead.
it's funny you say that, because the judge said, okay, like I need proof and like all of these things, because I forgot, what was I watching last night? It was something on true crime anyways. And the judge in the case, he said, I don't understand how this person they did a false, what do you call it? They said
Statement.
they did something and they didn't. Sorry, what'd you say, Stevie?
Like a false statement or something? Or
No, not a false statement, a false
allegation?
No. Confession, a false confession.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
They took all the credit for this thing, and the judge was like, "Well, the story changes every time this person tells it," and they just didn't do it, and it was part of the Innocence Project, which I'm a huge supporter of, a huge fan of. We need the Innocent Project out and about, because there are so many people that are in jail and behind bars and whatever because they didn't do something. And the guy was like, how is this person still in jail? Because every single thing that I read, every single thing that I watch, like every deposition or whatever, they tell the different story. And I'm thinking, but this is Amber. Like every single time she tells the story, it changes. And it doesn't change in ways where she may just change a little bit of something. No, she will change locations, she will change times, she will change people, like whatever fits the narrative, and whatever that it's just madness how it has gotten this far. Like, how did we ever get this far in any court proceeding where years later we're looking at it thinking, well, this isn't right. Why didn't we take a closer look at this before? Why? Even with the confession, you need to look at it, because what is that person doing? Why would someone do a confession? Well, a lot of people would. As we can see. And I'm not saying Johnny confessed to anything. I'm just saying, like, the fact that this judge was just so confused, and they had to go up to the 7th Circuit, and they're like, but it doesn't make sense. And the prosecutor was like, it has to make sense. We have to make it make sense. So they were taking all the pieces to make it make sense. It was so stupid.
It is stupid. And I wanted to say that, like, I had this thought. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Sometimes I feel like in my mind, I'm like, sometimes it would be so nice if you could just not waste all the time going through these court cases. And if it's literally so obvious, like in this case with Amber, it would be so amazing if you could literally just be like, oh, well, you're wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of going through this whole procedure, there should be some kind of like law in place where it's like, you have this quick hearing type thing, and it's like, okay, no, you're done, everybody knows the truth, instead of this whole drawn out legal thing, because the legal system, you've seen it, like, I mean, OJ Simpson, not to allegedly, but not to get into all that, but there's so many things where it's kind of like, the truth, like, why does it have to become this whole legal battle? Just
you know,
I say lie detector test. Go ahead, Stevie.
well,
Yeah.
I think there's another aspect to this as well, which is, and sadly, it's corruption too, because
Yeah.
and it's not to say that it's everywhere, but it definitely exists because you know, I was just covering one topic the other day about a judge in New York, a corrupt judge who is taking or favoring certain cases or favoring female, not defendants, plaintiffs in family court cases because the court gets a reimbursement from the government for the more that they decide or adjudicate in favor of one way, they get reimbursed by the government for making those adjudications. So, and a very close person to me, I guess, someone I know quite well, is actually going through that right now in New York, that very situation. So has been falsely accused, has actually been a victim as well, and going through this situation right now. The courts are so corrupt that the judge is literally saying to people like him, unless you pay X amount of alimony or X amount of child support, you're not seeing your children. You're not seeing your child. So which is illegal, and they're extorting these fathers, normally fathers, but parents, and saying you're not getting visitation unless you pay X amount of money. And so it's really disgusting. And I don't think that necessarily applies to the Amber Heard case, but it is out there. So there's another aspect of corruption as well in the system.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
And listen, I'll tell you, there was a judge who got arrested in my court actually last year for doing illegal things, and we've had judges in my court years ago get arrested for bribery on a divorce case. So,
man,
you know, it's out there. I mean, and I know people don't know. I'm just telling you from my perspective. I've experienced it. I work in the system, and I've seen it happen. You know, what should happen, what shouldn't happen, you know, money. Sometimes money takes over, unfortunately. And these things, and speaking of which, I should get to this real quick, and I have another thing to bring up. Lady Toriel gives me $2. Thank you so much for the super chat. She said, she seems like a total wackadoodle. That's
no, it's clear. It's obvious right there. You're completely right. She is. She's the whole full package.
There's another one, and I can't seem to. Here it is. Okay. Celtic Iron. And by the way, Celtic, I did read what you wrote about me. Thank you very much. I was very kind of you to say. You made me blush there. She says, justice for victims, bless you. And thank you very much. I appreciate the $10 super chat from you. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't miss any. Oh, I did. Les just gave me a super sticker. Les, you didn't have to do that. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I want to support too.
Thank you. Thank you, Les. It was really nice. Really, everybody, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, you were asking Shelby about the courts. So this is the number one rule. And this goes for anybody who goes to a court. You're innocent until proven guilty. So she alleges that Johnny did it. Johnny alleges that she did it. Why it's out in the public? Why, you know, and I've said this in my video. Why is it out in the public? Because one person, and I think the media, maybe they haven't done their homework on this case. Who is the first person that put it out there? Amber Heard. She said she's a victim. She did this whole video of how she's the victim and she's going to fight for you. The person who was the abuser, the person who hit the guy, took his finger off, crapped in the bed, hits him with a door, I mean, punches him in the face. This person is going to fight for the domestic violence victims. This is the person.
And you know, yeah, I get really frustrated and just angry with her because you see there's so many of her speeches. You know how she loves that podium to go make ridiculous, like, strung out speeches. She always does this type of thing, and like makes these like dramatic speeches, but where in one particular one, it could have been several, but in one particular one, I know she's like, "Oh, I will fight for people who are victims of domestic violence and domestic abuse." I'm like, "You're ridiculous. If you were smart, which we know she's not, but like if you were smart or smarter, you wouldn't be going out here doing this kind of thing. You would keep your trap shut and just try to like wait it out maybe a little bit. It's dumb to begin with, but I just can't believe how you can actually go out and say this, because that's what drives me crazy, is she's mentally aware that people see it as negatively in society, but she isn't aware enough to not do it. That's the most weird thing to me, is that she knows that it's wrong, it's seen as wrong, but she continues to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But
It's
why,
just, it's a,
like, how does
Yeah.
she get away with it? How does she act like, okay, you know, it's frustrating, because I mean, Lesson, you brought this up in the last stream. Why haven't they shown the other side? Why do they keep protecting her? What is with this one-sided ordeal? I mean, how much is out there? Are they not hearing the recordings? Are they not hearing what is out there? Did they not see that she started this?
Isn't it a better story, though, that, in all honesty, isn't it a better story that Johnny the Destroyer is this guy that wouldn't I don't know a lot of people who don't enjoy his movies. Like I've had people say, "Oh, well, he's so weird." It's like, well, everyone's weird. Shut up. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has their own little quirks. That's what makes us beautiful and unique. So I don't care how odd someone is, but it's very rare that you find that someone hasn't found a movie that they enjoy that he did. So, and that's all we know about the guy. We don't know anything personally about him. We just know what we see on the screen. But it's a better story that Johnny, this person that we've, for us in like our age group, we've known since, 1980 something.
Yeah,
21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street for me.
Yeah.
And so it's just a better story that this guy that we've all kind of followed through his career, that's a better story than this girl who no one knows. No one knew who she was. Well, I didn't, so I'm just lumping myself in with everybody as no one.
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was.
It has to fit the narrative. I don't mean to cut you off there, but I had to say that. Yeah, they want it to fit the narrative, and that's one of the reasons why I did this, is because I'm so against all that garbage. I'm going to I clearly want to believe you, but I'm going to look into it if I hear about this stuff. Yes. It doesn't fit this narrative that people want. They just want it to be for people who supposedly are all for wanting good things and for people to be believed. You sure aren't being a very good person by just wanting to pin it on the male here. Like, people wanted to believe it could be him. But sorry, not to intervene there.
No, it's a much better story. And with Believe All Women, how can you push the narrative of Believe All Women, which I don't know who came up with that, but I have some questions. I have more than some. I have a lot of questions for that person.
Yeah.
But how can you go against the narrative? Like,
well, the thing is,
you're right.
Listen, it's like saying, one side cheats, well, one side robs, or one side but that's not true. That's right. Listen, a relationship, and I'll say this to the day I die, takes two people to work. And if one person is pushing for it to work and the other isn't, it won't work.
That's right.
Like if I want a child and you don't, it's not going to work. If we don't want the same things, if I love you and you don't love me, it's not going to work. Yeah. It's just not. I don't care what relationship you're in. Yeah. It's just sadly, it's just fact.
Their work.
The thing is that as well, like, and you just spot on, Rob. It's a two-way street, and from what we saw with Amber and Johnny, with all of the evidence that we've got, which is great, by the way, that we've got all that evidence, is that it was a one-way street all the time. It was a one-way street all the time in terms of compassion, in terms of love, in terms of all of those things that you need a two-way street for in a relationship. It was all just one-sided from Johnny.
Yeah.
And even when he was being nice to her, even when he was being as nice as anything and trying to be helping her, she was still an evil, you know what?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I don't get it.
could she have
I
not
don't
a
get
shred of compassion for him at all? And like Les said before, I don't know, he must be a saint or something to
Yeah.
have gone all
Yeah.
of this time, gone through all of this stuff, and you know, to use his words, he never popped the wife. Like he
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
he didn't do anything. He didn't do any
Yeah.
of this stuff. He only tried to help her the whole time.
Now you brought that up because he said in that audio, because that drives a guy to pop the wife. She never once said, "You did pop the wife." She never once said that.
Yes.
She just let that comment
Yes.
fly because he just said he never did it, and she never said anything about it. I just clued into that right there.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that, but I just want
You're
to
right.
Go ahead, Shelby. You first.
No, I didn't. I was just saying she's right. Yeah, I have so much to say about her. You go ahead. My brain's spinning.
Okay, I just want to catch up to some super chats because everybody's like, Rob, there's a super chat. Let them. And listen, I like to recognize the people who are donating to the channel very everybody. That's just me. Anyway, Patty says he gave $5. He said, "You guys are great. Thank you, Patty, so much for the $5 super chat." I have to scroll down.
Yeah.
I missed a little bit here. I'm so sorry. Shelby gives me a super sticker. Shelby, seriously,
Of
thank you.
course.
You didn't have to do it, but thank you, Shelby. She gave me a cool super sticker. Thank you so much, Shelby.
Oh, it's
Awesome.
my pleasure.
Shelby, awesome. These guys are great. If you haven't subscribed to any of these channels, please do. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Please, Stevie J Raw, Shelbysoup, and Spiritually Empowered Coaching. Please, they are wonderful. And since I met them, I have nothing but great words to say about them. And they're supporting Johnny, and we all supporting Johnny. So keep doing that. Don't
Thank you.
listen to these people out here. Don't listen that there were robots. Sign that petition if you haven't. We almost got it to 500,000. Sign that L'Oreal petition if you haven't. Don't stop fighting. We have to keep fighting because they're going to make us stop fighting. And the minute we stop fighting, they win. We can't let them win. We got to keep fighting for what's right here. Okay, so please keep that in. Jewel, I missed it. Wait, I missed. I went too far down. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Well, Stevie J Raw. What? Stevie,
I believe Amber. I saw that and I was laughing. I saw it pop up.
Me
And
too.
you guys were talking about something so serious and I couldn't contain myself.
he says,
That happens to me all the time.
I believe Amber. And I was like, what? You believe what? And then he goes, is a liar, right? Lock her up. Stevie, man. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you. And Jewel also gave me with a $5 super chat, says, must run to the office. Appreciate how much work you all do to take a stand on this important issue. Stay safe. You too. Thank you so much, Jewel, for stopping in. I hope you have a
Thank
great
you.
day. I have a great day. So basically, that's the thing. Do you see the courts? Let's say Stevie is accused of something from somebody. You know, it could be a friend or whatever. Oh, Stevie beat me up in the middle of the street. He went crazy. But now am I going to believe that?
Sounds accurate, actually.
I was just going to say all the time. First you call me a tool. And now I'm accused of everything. I'm just all right, guilty.
Well, it's true. Hey,
Fine.
never mind. I was going to say
If a woman said it, it's true.
Yeah.
If a woman said it, it's true.
Okay,
you're an abuser because I said you are.
I'll put it on
Exactly.
me. Let's say I did something, right? So someone takes me to court and they're saying I did something, blah, blah. Well, you know, I know they're lying. So they have to prove that I did something and I have to prove my innocence. So it's not like, because imagine if they say, oh, it's a crime scene and this person did it. Let's just lock them up and that's it. And in the meantime, they did nothing. But they have to grab somebody, right? Because they got to make it themselves look good, like he solved the case. Well, no. So unfortunately, unless you have to go in front of a judge, unless a person just says, I'm guilty, I plead guilty, that's the end of the story. You know, she's not pleading here. She's not. And here's the thing that pisses me off the most. You cost this guy millions. I'm not talking $1,000. I'm not talking $5. We're talking millions of dollars. She got him fired.
Mm-hmm.
She got him fired. And she's crying because everybody's trying to sign a petition. She blames it on his legal team. She blames it, all this blame. Look in the mirror, honey. Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And admit that you have done something wrong. Just like TMZ doesn't want to admit that they did something wrong. She now doesn't want to admit that she has done something so horribly wrong. And I believe there's a reason. And this is the reason I came up with this week. She has psychologically believed her own story. She actually believes that what she's saying, because in her mind, she doesn't want to admit that she's physically hurt somebody. She can't accept the guilt. Right. So what she's done, and this is what they do, and I'm telling you, psychologically, this is what they do. They're like, okay, I got to come up with a reason. I got to think, why did I do these things? And so psychologically, she's like, no, you hit me. It's self-defense. That's what it is. And I'm like, but no, she really believes herself. I'm truly in belief that this is what she is. She
does. It's all down to mentally. Yeah.
That's a really good point, mate, though. And it's so clear from the audio tapes and the video, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really clear that she was so physical with Johnny all the time. She was so physical with him all the time. And she never, like Les said before, she never addresses him in a way that, she never accuses him. She never says, oh, and even when he asks her directly, he says, am I an abuser, Amber? Am I an abuser? And she never actually says, yes, you are.
Great.
This particular, but she
Great
never
point.
ever says it to him on episode recordings. And so if you were asked that question directly, like say I'm Amber Heard, not as pretty, of course, but if I was Amber Heard and I was asking, and somebody asked me, right, am I an abuser? And they were, I would just say, yeah, of course you are. Don't you remember this time and that time and all of these other times that you did it to me? And, that's what I would be saying. I wouldn't be completely avoiding the question and then just flipping it back around on Johnny and saying, oh, but, whatever she decides to say in that given moment, I'm 115 pounds and that never happened. Whatever, she just goes off onto some tangent and starts following butterflies. She just avoids it at every single turn. And I think, as Les always says, we've got to look at the things she doesn't say or the things that she doesn't comment on. So that really, for me, is a massive key to all of this. And if you don't mind, Rob, I just want to mention one comment, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead. I'll take this off the screen. Go ahead.
Gary Robinson said, and this was about the, it just skipped on me. Sorry, I'll find it. But Gary Robinson said basically, Stevie J, this is about my super chat where I said, believe it. Okay, I found it. It says, you should get hold of Amber's publicist, invite her back to Australia for an interview and see what happens. ... Handcuffs.
Gary.
That's great. That's great. That's where you're from. That's wonderful. That's terrific.
Well, I wanted to real quick comment because I didn't want to forget this as well. Someone said something about Amber taking a polygraph. I think she would pass a polygraph. I don't know if you guys. I think she would.
I think it was Kat said that.
Yeah, she would. I think she would pass it. I can tell you from knowledge that she probably would.
Well, the problem is, and as I've pointed this out many times, that the choice of wording you have to use with Amber is so precise. Like in the May 21st, she said when they were in the deposition and they were like, so you were on the phone with IO. She's like, no, we were on speakerphone. It's like, dear, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Goddamn thing, right? And this is what pisses me off about this girl.
Irritable.
What is IO, by the way? I didn't.
Oh, IO, right? IO, her
sleaze bag. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Her friend it's her friend, and he's the one that apparently called 911 that night, and he's just had her back the entire time, and he lived off Johnny for quite some time in one of his suites or homes. Like, IO just took advantage of. I want to be very careful when I use this wording. He didn't take advantage of Depp's daughter, but he used her for his own personal gain.
It's amazing.
So without Johnny or Vanessa's permission, and Lily Rose was like 16 at the time, he completely went around the parents and used her in such a manner that was just, Johnny had enough. Like, that was it. Friendship over with IO. So, the wording is very important. So if the person conducting the lie detector test doesn't ask the right questions, she'll throw out the entire question and say, no, that's a complete lie. Because in her head it is, because you didn't use the right words.
Right.
You're right.
It's very,
Yeah.
very specific with Amber. And I noticed that, like, she'll correct things on just a word. I'm like, but it's the same damn thing. It's a phone. Like, you were still, like, IO still was not in the room. You were still talking over something, whether it's the phone or like, and they had like this whole discussion about it. It was ridiculous. So that's why I feel like they would pass, is because the wording,
sure.
you can get around wording with Amber. It's horrible.
And I also wanted to say how unlikable of a trait that is, just because she you can tell it's another self-centered thing, is I have to be in control. I have to be right. I have to set the record straight. You know, that's something else I wanted to branch off of that.
Okay. That's good points. You know, that's a good point. Oh, my friend Jeffrey Turner, for $2 super chat. He has a good question. This is more geared towards Johnny Depp. He says, "Pop the wife." What exactly?
We're not doing anything illegal.
What exactly are we meaning by that, guys? Anybody?
Don't do anything illegal.
I think it was me that mentioned that,
Yeah.
so I'm happy to talk
Yeah.
about that. All right. So, Jeffrey, what it's referring to is a comment that Johnny made in one of the recordings that we heard. So he was basically saying in the recording that Amber did all of these things to him all of this time, and he never once popped the wife. And what he means is he never abused his wife. He never hit her.
Okay.
He never struck her or anything like that. So that's what the context is for using that comment. Johnny was saying to people, or saying to himself, but he was saying that he's gone through all of these things. Amber did all of this stuff to him, and not once did he ever abuse her or strike her or do anything to her like that. That's what the context is behind that comment.
Yeah.
And
my dad uses that language too. My dad, not saying he actually did it, but we were joking around one day, and he said something about someone, and he's like, "You got to stay with me in case I pop off." And it was a joke. It was a joke, but he will use that terminology as well. So yeah.
This was an interesting one.
I see what you mean.
Tammy said, "I bet after court, JD responds to you all." Well, I mean, I'm going to say this. He kind of did respond. He did a video thanking everybody who has been backing him up. And you know, he appreciates the love, and and I've heard him say it on numerous. There was another interview, I missed it. I wish I would have recorded it. He also said he just wants to thank everybody. He said that's his lifeline, that we're his love line, his lifeline, that we're his big support. And you know, he said something like, to the extent that without us, you know, he doesn't know if he make it this far. Some kind of. I wish I would have taped it. I should have recorded it.
Yeah.
But you know, he does recognize what's going on out there. I've heard. I don't know if this is true. I've heard that he does watch certain videos, and he does say, "Oh man, I'm glad that they've got my back." I'm glad. So I don't know if he watches everything. I don't know if he reads everything, but he could see that the support and love is there for him. And so don't think that he doesn't appreciate. Don't think he does. He's not checking, you know, things out, reading things. He is. I'm sure she is too, but she's certainly. I mean, and she is. You know how she is. Yeah, because she said we don't exist. She said we don't.
Well,
you know,
we know she is because we see that one dislike on every single video before it starts.
Yeah, that's her.
There's that one there.
It's her IO.
Yeah,
it's either that, or it's Augusta Musk coming through again.
Blowing through.
He is following Incredibly Average on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's one of the few accounts that Johnny Depp's Instagram is following is Incredibly Average, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that Brian? Because
Florida. That's Brian Fella. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now I heard. I mean, I'm reading in the chat that Adam Waldman he didn't get kicked off the team. Is that correct? He's not kicked off the team. So
not
the article was wrong in that extent. He's not kicked off.
Yeah.
No,
the articles were very wrong though.
Yeah, no, he just can't perform law within Fairfax County because he was brought in as a foreign lawyer because So he had to get permission to be able to practice within Fairfax. So that's now been removed. But that doesn't mean anything. It just means he can't attack. Like he can't. I think everyone was waiting for that moment where Adam was just going to destroy Amber on the stand.
Yes.
But I say, you know what? I say Ben Chu. I say Ben
Yeah.
Chu is just as capable. He is like the silent, he's almost like that silent thing within the background. Like you just don't know what's going to come. And when it comes, it's like, Jesus Christ, we didn't see that coming. I cannot wait for it, because she needs someone to
Me
turn
too.
around and say, well, what about, like, just really hammer into her. Trust me, I would love to be that person. I've got
Oh, yeah.
1,001 questions
too.
for that girl.
I
And
want to
I
see
will
her
not
get
hold back.
mad.
Well,
yeah, I want to
reckon
see
it-
her. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go, Shelby. You go.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just saying I want to see her get her poo-poo fed to her, like, in nice terms. I want to see her get her shit handed to her. I can't wait to see someone lay into her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You want to see?
ahead,
You want to
Stevie.
see Ben Chu just get a couple of bits of bread and just make a nice shit sandwich and feed it to her. That's what you want to see. There it is.
yeah, I'll give her a nice gift.
I think
I tell you,
Make her
you're
a
right though you're right about her getting angry though. I would love to see a Jack Nicholson, a Few Good Men moment. You know, you can't handle the truth. That kind of moment. That'd be awesome. Where she just lets go and just tells everybody everything and owns up to it all. That'd be awesome.
Well, at what point do how does she sleep at night? Because
Yeah.
dear God, to have a lot of people digging through your life, trying to figure out what you said, when you said it, calling you out left and right. I would be moving to Mars. Like, I honestly would be if that was me. Every
Same.
once in a while, I think, if this was me, how would I feel? But she's getting what she deserves. Like, I'm not saying anything that's going to harm her life in any way.
No.
I'm just saying
No.
you're lying. You're lying. But at the same time, I don't think I would handle it. But at the same time, I
No.
would never do something like this, so we don't have to worry about that.
well, it's a
I
good
couldn't
thing.
sleep
It's a
at
good
night.
thing.
I couldn't sleep at night.
Elon,
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't either.
he
I
needs
couldn't
to
either.
send her away.
I couldn't either. I couldn't
Yeah,
sleep
I
at
agree.
night. I don't know how she goes to bed at night feeling good about herself and waking up and watching her pet horses and walk around with her girlfriend and whatever else stupidity that they're showing.
Yeah.
These are quite. I know I'm gonna kill this person's name, so I'm just gonna say the end at Lamire. I could be French, I guess. So can I ask the question if you think Amber Heard was right to cross the line in info sharing to get it out, or better?
Adam Waldman.
What happened?
It's
Oh,
Adam Waldman, not Amber Heard.
Yeah, Adam. Oh, sorry, I read that real quick. I see
No,
A, and automatically I'm thinking Heard. Sorry, you're right, Shelby. Thank you for correcting me. See, I admit I'm wrong. See, I'm wrong. Or better, he maybe retained it in that, so he remained. So, do you think that Waldman was right in crossing the line? So, should he, like you were saying, I would love, my personal opinion, I would love to see him spew it, throw it out there. I would.
Mhm.
I would, because then if he see, here's the thing. She made it seem like it was all Johnny. So Johnny did what he had to do. His team said, listen, we got this. Let's put it out there, because we need to prove that you are not the abuser. And since she put out all this stuff and put it on TMZ and Plaza on TV and doing commercials and speaking for everybody, let's show everybody, guess what? You're busted. You're busted. Yeah. And so I think that this is the best way to fight fire with fire. You need to jam it down her throat.
I agree, mate. And I got a question for you. If this was a different scenario, right? And if this wasn't being so heavily played out in the public already by Amber's team, let's just caveat with that. But if it wasn't being so played out in the media, does anybody actually think that Adam Waldman would tweet about a case he's working on?
No.
I would highly doubt that.
No.
But because it's such a landslide against Johnny, and he's also got a friendship with Johnny, he had to put something out there. I'm sure in his mind he had to put something out there to counter what they were saying. Because don't forget, and although she's off the case now, Roberta Kaplan had something like 7,000 tweets. Maybe not all to do with Johnny, but he just had to call out the hypocrisy, because she's saying they're all saying Adam Waldman's a prolific tweeter and Johnny's legal team are orchestrating, this campaign of terror online. And then he simply put up there, really? Pot calling the kettle black type of thing. She's got 7,500 tweets. I've got 300. So who's the prolific tweeter? And, hypocrisy again and again. So for me, I think he had to do that in his mind. And, he's clever enough not to do anything illegally damaging, I don't think. But like Les was saying, he was there basically like a guest lawyer in Virginia. And now he just can't be in that legal capacity. But oh boy, yeah. I hope he brings that champagne bottle with him and wields it with the power.
Magnum.
The Magnum bottle. Yeah.
Megan said it great. She said Johnny Depp is a private person. He never wanted this to go out there. And yes, he did.
Exactly.
He told her that. He said, let's not do this.
Yep.
He's worked so hard to keep his life private.
So to me, listen, like when you're in the courts, okay, I'll tell you the one thing. They tell jurors this, and I could take a picture of this on the wall. Maybe I could do that tomorrow, and I'll show you guys on the video. Basically, they say they don't want you to go with this, whatever case it is. Let's say it's a trip and fall case. Let's say it's a car accident. They say, please, you're a juror. Do not put this information out there. Do not go on Facebook. Do not go on Instagram. Do not go on Twitter, because if you're caught, there's going to be repercussions. And yes, so they don't want you sharing that information with the public. But here's the problem with this case, in my opinion. She's a celebrity. She put it out there and she played the victim card. That was the issue.
Yep. She wrote an op-ed.
Yeah, yes. And she did that too, yes. I forgot, sorry, brain fart.
Like, she started this. She's the one that wrote the op-ed. It would have just... and that's the thing that got him fired. So,
that comment! Wow.
What?
I think you guys mentioned this on your live stream, or it might have been Shelby and Stevie. Kat says she's mad because he didn't die, and I it was on one of your live streams. I just can't remember that you
yesterday.
Guys,
me and Stevie.
Yeah. Okay. That someone has said. I think that Amber wanted to be a widow, and she wanted him to die to collect everything. And I think that person was 100% correct.
I can see it for sure.
Because she wants to know now today what his will looked like when they were married.
Yeah. Exactly. Are you kidding? Yeah.
Why is that? What? Why is that necessary? Why is for what, Amber?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And if you're still in it today, something might happen to Johnny. Nope. No.
There's something not right up there.
And the other side of it too is we know what kind of person she is, right? We know she loves the attention and everything. How much? No, forgetting all of the the abuse stuff that we know about her now. But if you think about this idea that she wanted to be a widow, and then think about this fact, right? She loves attention. We know that.
Yeah.
So, how much attention do you think the widow of Johnny Depp would get? One of the world's biggest movie stars, who hadn't had a tainted reputation yet, because none of this would have come out.
That's right.
So he would have been still absolutely loved by every single person, not just the millions of us, but every single person on the planet. So she would have gotten everybody coming to her with sympathy, with, so much attention and all of that stuff. And she would have loved it.
And I also, branching off of that, I also think it's very strange, like we were talking about, how she's bringing in these very irrelevant things, like the will, but also that, remember when she was like trying to get his medical records, or not his medical records, his like mental health records and stuff like that. Like, why are you bringing all of this irrelevant stuff into this? And it's just reflects right back on her, because we know that she isn't all there. And are they going to discuss her mental state in the court? Like, does she have medical records that will be discussed?
Well, Johnny did sign over his HIPAA, I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe he signed over his HIPAA and she won't. But the thing is, she's the defendant in this. Like, so she's asking for all of these things. She wanted to know everything that Johnny and Adam Waldman discussed. And she just wanted everything from the time Johnny was like 12 to yesterday. She wanted absolutely everything, not realizing this. She's a ding dong, because as soon as she starts asking for things, being the defendant, Johnny can turn around and say, okay, you first. because she wanted to know
Yeah.
all the people, all the women he slept with in the past 10 years. And I said this on my video. When I read it, it was like, I hadn't actually got there yet. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, please let the next 10 pages just be a litany of names, please, because she would lose her mind. She would lose it just to see. And it was like 2 names. I was like, Johnny, what? Come on. I was so disappointed that he wasn't more of a player. So disappointed because he's like, oh,
to make her just, oh man. And well, this, I'm sorry.
I'll let you finish. I just got to let you know I have to duck off in a couple of minutes. So
Okay.
I
So
just wanted to let you know.
since you have the duck off, I'm going to give you. You can say the floor is yours. You can say whatever you like, and if you have to go, you can cut right into that. So it's all you. Go ahead. I'll shut my mic.
Okay, no worries. Thanks, Rob. All I want to say, really, honestly, is thanks for having me, Rob. You're a great bloke, and to everyone on the panel, you're awesome as well. Always love catching up with you and having a chat, having a laugh as well while we're covering this serious topic. And that's pretty much it. I love all of you out there in the chat as well. You're all bloody awesome. And I hope you have a ripping day.
Stevie, before you go, I just want to say a couple things. One, don't be a tool anymore, okay?
yeah, stop it. Stop it. We're sick of it.
2, stop the abuse, okay? We don't want to see abusing people in the street. I'm joking. But if you haven't checked out Stevie J Raw, Stevie, please, when you go or before you go, put your channel in the chat, please.
Just
So
did
people,
it.
oh, you did. Thank you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Trust me, it doesn't hurt to do this. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Check out Stevie. Great views, great points, live streams. Check him out. He's got all these paperwork on all these motions and everything that's being, served in the court. So make sure you check out Stevie, please. Great guy. I hope, Stevie, I really hope we can do this again because I love having you on, man.
Oh, me too, mate. Absolutely. We can do it 100%. I've had a great time and always do catching up with you, mate. Always do.
Thank you, man. You have a great day. You be well.
I'll see you
okay?
tomorrow.
Bye, friends.
Yes, see ya.
I'll catch you in your stream tomorrow. All right. And then there were 3.
And then there were 3, yeah.
So Jen says, I think the judge said no to all that she is asking for because they aren't retrying the divorce, which is true. They've settled.
Yeah.
So,
Make that
Which
very
I'm-
clear.
yeah. Now,
Yeah.
when you settle a divorce case, I'll tell you because I've been through it. One of the statements in the divorce is that you can't bring this back, that this is your final settlement. This is where you're going with it. This is it. So you cannot ask for more money in the future.
Right.
You cannot ask for
yeah.
something. This is your final agreement. It's in the divorce judgment of
Yeah,
divorce.
mine too. That was in my
Yeah.
divorce too. Yep.
Yeah. So for her trying to bring something back, she can't. But this is why she did a countersuit to his case. See, that she can do. And again, Shelby, of course, we get the gist of everything that's going on. We have made our judgment based on everything that's been out there. It's not like we've had one thing. We've had many. So Shelby's like, why can't we just do it? We know what the truth is. Apparently the media doesn't want to play it out there. Apparently, and the judge has to do their job. They're getting paid to sit there, review everything, go over everything thoroughly, look at the law, and finally create an order, whether, and they, believe me, I could tell you from being in court, the judges will go in the back of me and say, man, this is a crock. And I know it's a crock. And I'll give you an example. One lady sued for having her back hurt. She couldn't go to work. She slipped, she fell. She was suing the city because she hurt her back.
Mm-hmm.
Private investigator caught her going out in the street, going to get her nails done, smiling and dancing in the place. And they had it on videotape and said, if your back hurt so much that you couldn't go to work, how are you able to drive a car bent in the position you're in and just go dance and have fun in your nail salon with your girlfriends?
Yeah.
They're not
and
stupid. They're not stupid.
Intelligence seems to be a common trait amongst these people. Like her and Amber had a lot in common as far as the thinking went. Like I just can't. That's my problem. Is just is just these actions that these people do. Like you were saying, if you shouldn't be out making it so obvious and stuff like that. Like if you really had a problem, you wouldn't be going out and about and doing all this.
That's just it. That's just it. But people think that they can get away with it. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like some people think it's, I think what, as somebody said it earlier, I can't find it because there's so many in the chat, but somebody said that they felt that Amber, when she was threatening Johnny and scaring him, bullying him, that he would not fight back, that she was going to get whatever she wanted. So she was saying on the phone, like, hey, listen, I just want you to know I have all this evidence against you, and I have tons of witnesses and videos and all this stuff. So you're going to get hurt. And he replied, like, no, we're both going to get hurt.
yeah.
We're both going to get hurt. That's what's going to happen here. And, I feel that none of this would have been plastered had she done the right thing to begin with. Had she just settled and said, hey, listen, let's do this privately. We'll go to the media, and it just shows his demeanor. Could this guy's demeanor, after all this, a finger being chopped and all this stuff we've stated over and over again, his demeanor was still, I love you. I always will. Let's just end this peacefully and we go on with our careers. And she got him fired.
Yeah.
He lost millions.
Well, the problem, so
it's incredible.
Within that op-ed that she wrote that got him fired, she never once mentioned his name. It was just the timeline and everything. It just kind of, and she did her restraining order was done in the media as well. Right. So it kind of added up.
Yep.
Like she could have easily said, I wasn't talking about Johnny. She could have easily said that, but she didn't. True. She rode the wave. And then she goes on this stupid talk show and she's like, I didn't want anything. All the money I gave went to charity. I wanted nothing. But not realizing that this was actually going to come out one day. She wanted all the penthouses. She wanted the Range Rover. She wanted $50,000 a year. She wanted absolutely everything from this guy. And now she's sitting there on the world stage saying she wanted nothing. No. I wanted nothing. I paid a lot of money to get out of my marriage because I didn't want anything to do with him any longer. I said it was a lot of money that I had to pay him out. And so F her for sitting there saying she didn't want it, when in reality she wanted everything.
Yeah. Yeah. She did.
And I wanted to just say that everybody knows the truth that Amber's garbage in a sense in this chat. So guess what, Amber? Like she said, F you. I would do this, but I want to keep it PG.
Yeah, I want to keep it.
Yeah, no, I remember like during the tape, I happened to catch this. I never covered it. He said to Amber, she's like, oh, I got to get out in 21 days. And he's like, no. If you want to stay there 2, 3, 4 months, go ahead. You stay there. And she had her friends there too, which is the most amazing thing. Like, what, your friends don't have homes themselves?
That's right.
They're hanging out in your house?
Yeah.
I mean, and she didn't care that, like he's got to go somewhere. Think about when you get into a fight with your ex, you're the person, your spouse, and it doesn't work. Somebody's got to go somewhere because otherwise it's going to be ugly, right? So somebody's got to make the move and say, well, now I got to go. Now, a normal person, that's rough. We don't have millions of dollars here. It costs money to just up and go. You don't just up and go anywhere, You got to find somewhere to go temporarily. Then you got to look for your new place. It takes money. How much money is my divorce going to cost? How much money if I have to get a lawyer? How much money is the new place? I got to leave security deposit. I might have to moving expenses. To celebrities, it's no big deal, or someone of the 1% or 2%, whatever it is. Yeah, that's no big deal. But to an everyday common person like me or anybody else here in this channel or stream or chat, it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen overnight. It's not that simple. So he said, "Listen, don't worry about it." Because he had money, he had places to go. Maybe he was filming. Maybe he was at a friend's house. Maybe he was at another house he might own. I don't know what he owns or what he has.
Oh, he had plenty. I think he owned all of Sweetser Street. I think he owned all the homes on that street. I believe.
Yeah. He did.
That was my understanding. Plus the penthouses, plus the house in France, and plus the island too. The island too.
Island.
So he had plenty of places to go. So it's not like he was like, "Well, this is my house. You got to go." Like that's what I said. Like this is my house. Like you moved in with me. You now have to go. Like you and he tried anyway. He definitely tried. My ex tried to pull an Amber. 110% to get the house. He wanted to know what my inheritance was going to be. Like he wanted to know
Whoa.
it all. Oh yeah, he wanted to know it all. And
Wow.
so it's not like he said, "This is my house, you have to go." And Amber doesn't realize how kind that is, that her husband allowed her friends to live in such a nice place for free. She's never
Yeah.
going to have that kindness ever again bestowed
Right.
upon her, ever. That's a once in a lifetime kindness. To have someone like have your husband allow your best friends, and not just one or two, like the slew of them. Every single person in Amber's camp lived there for free.
Yep.
Every single
Yep.
person that Amber had any kind of contact with had a key to the penthouse. She'll
So-
never have that again, ever.
Shelby,
She abused everything. Sorry, what?
She did.
I want to give
Yeah,
you the
she
stage.
just-
I want to let you talk.
Yeah, she just.
Go ahead. I'm going to shut my
Yeah,
mic. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Thank you. No, you're fine. You're fine. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay, so if I ever cut someone off, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
So that's why, like, if I cut anybody off, I apologize. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my whole thing right here. Is just that she clearly isn't aware of any of her surroundings, but that's a big problem I had with it. Was she was not aware of how good it was. Like, and nothing was ever enough. You know, it was never
Yeah.
good enough. It was never. She could never have. You know, it was always, it had to be more. It had to be more. And she continued to want more money. She continues to want all of this. It's just a mess. I like your cat, by the way.
Thank you. This is my mom's cat. This is my mom's.
Okay.
We're sitting.
Aww.
We are sitting. She's massive. She's actually part raccoon.
Oh, what?
What?
I'm kidding.
What?
She's the size of a raccoon. She's massive. She's like
wow.
20 pounds, but she's just so lovely.
Yeah,
I was
somebody
just
said
starting to
hi to your
think-
cat before. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw that comment. I threw it up there. But someone said, "Oh, hi."
Yeah,
I said, "Hi to your cat."
That didn't sound right if it was part raccoon. That was giving
yeah, I was like,
me. I was
"What?
starting to get a
Hold on.
little
Come on,
uncomfortable there.
What are we
Come on,
doing up
sweetheart.
north? What is going on
Come
up
on.
north here? Raccoons and cat. Oh my God, cute.
Look at
Oh, look at her.
Wow.
She seems
Whoa.
lovable.
she's very
Wow.
lovable. She's such a sweetheart, aren't you? You're such a sweetheart. But she gets on top of you and you like your legs all of a sudden go numb because she just weighs so much. She's on a diet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to tell them that.
Ah.
Yeah, no, this is a great point, and I wanted to ask you guys this before we wrap up, because I mean, we could do this again, and I'm hoping you guys will come on again. Maybe next Sunday we could
Of
all do
course.
it again or something.
Yeah.
So,
I
I
love it.
Let me get the comment out of the way. Hold on, let me get
Aw.
the comment out of the way.
I love
Oh,
it.
it's so adorable. Oh my God, beautiful. Oh my God.
She looks like a
He or she-
tiger
Is it a he or
in a
she?
good way.
He or she. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh my
I
God.
love her.
Look at those eyes. Wow.
Oh, she's so nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see she's mushy.
She is. She's a mushy girl. aren't
Some
you?
cats aren't, but she's definitely a mush. I can see that all the way.
Mine is not. I don't know where she gets it from. She's very independent. She's very she's very
Prissy.
fancy. She's very prissy,
Yeah.
very fancy. She's got a mind of her own. I don't know where she gets it from at all. But she's not like she used to be when she was a baby. She was so cuddly, and then all of a sudden one day she's like, "Oh, you?"
She's
Yeah.
cute. Oh, Miss Mystica Davis asked, well, more of a statement, not asked. Amber's team is the one who has released more than Johnny ever has.
Yeah.
And this is my question I really
Yep.
want to ask. She just reminded me. So Waldman gets off, right? They don't want to go in the public, whatever. He's in the UK case and nothing to do. So my question is, then why isn't there any repercussions? It should go both ways. If you
should.
don't, and it's already in the public, so it's kind of too late. You can't change the past. What's out there is out
Right.
there. Now, if you made a protective order for the future saying, listen, we really don't want this getting out there until this case is over, then you can discuss it and throw whatever you want out there.
Right.
I could understand that, but it's too late. There's so much out there, and Amber's team did it first, so Johnny had to prove his innocence somehow. I
Yeah.
mean, I would think that that's why this all went down the way it did.
I think so too. I think it was I think it was a mercy release. Like it was like we need to do something. He's getting pummeled and he's getting pummeled for all the wrong reasons. So let's do this. But the thing is, the things that I saw him release from my point of view, the way I was looking at it, was from the UK trial, not the VA trial.
Right.
So, like
Yeah.
the fridge, the Schmeg fridge.
Yeah,
Like, what is she going to
definitely.
do in VA when the Schmeg fridge was the time traveling fridge? So it's hard to say, but yeah, Cappy was the one who actually started it, and I don't know. Penny, no. She nearly took down everything.
Everything.
You okay?
Yeah, she's the fur flew.
The fur is flying.
The fur is flying.
Even this case, the fur is flying.
So
I wanted to.
Go, Shelby.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to say I don't want to get this yeah, there was a delay, sorry. I want to get this question out there, and I know we talked about it a little bit, and I not to get off topic, but I know we're getting off soon. But do you guys think Amber Heard or even Johnny Depp, do you think they have seen our stuff individually? I'm curious. What do you think that we have come in their, I guess, if they've just seen our stuff? What do you think about that?
Well,
I think so.
We know that they've seen the petition. It's obvious, and I'm sure, I'm sure they looked at all those signatures, and then they said, "Oh, this can't be real. Look at all these people. These can't be real people. There's got to be some kind of whatever, you know." But I understand that. You know, I understand they think that maybe someone in there is, you know, whatever. Like, wow, 495,000 people signed this. I don't believe that. So we know they've seen that. I heard Johnny say that he. So someone said that like earlier that they've seen Brian's videos. You know, so that was mentioned.
He does. He does follow Brian.
She has seen,
or on Instagram.
Yeah,
So he's seen, like, Johnny's seen Brian's work, which is, dear God, if Johnny's going to see any work, that's the work you want to see, right? Like that.
Yeah,
that's the one you want out front.
I mean, so I'm sure that and he's thanked the fans. Like I said, I did a video about that, and you know, he's come. He knows what's going on. He's not dumb, and I'm sure that at first he probably felt horrible. You know, he probably looked at this like, man, she's on TV, you know, and now I've lost my job at Disney, right? And now that could affect my entire career. So his lawyer said, well, is she going to leak stuff, put it on TMZ, do commercials, and do op-eds and all that? She has forced the hand.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that at first Johnny was just like, okay, we're just going to go to court. You know, fuck it. We're going to court, and that's the end of the story. But no. She had to really pour gasoline on the fire. And that's my point. So in the future, the judge says, oh, don't make this public. I would, if I'm his attorney, I'd be like, sir, Your Honor, let's be real. Look at the beginning and look what was out there. All we're doing is trying to show the public, like, look, if you believe that, that's fine. But let us show you our point of view. Mm-hmm. Let us show you our story. Because back then, people were tweeting and people all over, Johnny's guilty. What a horrible person. I'm never going to watch a Johnny Depp movie again. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So Shelby, again, it goes back to saying what you said earlier. If we do what we were first told, we would have all been here saying Johnny Depp needs to be arrested. Right. Johnny Depp needs to lose his money. Johnny Depp shouldn't be in Hollywood anymore. If we first went by that. But when he comes back and puts all that out there, now look at us. Now we're saying, hey, wait a minute. This is Amber Heard. So that's why you go to trial. Basically, you go to trial because there's two sides. Like I said, I think I said this my last. There's the plaintiff side, there's the defendant side, and there's the truth in all of that. Right. That's what the judge told me, and I will always go by what they're telling me, because he's right. He's right. I could have my side, my wife could have her side, and in between, there's something there. Because I might push up my story a little bit just to make it seem a little bit more spicier. Yeah. And she's going to throw something in there just to make it seem a little spicier. But somewhere in between, that's where the truth is. Yeah. Because we both believe our story, and we're not going to say what we've done wrong. We're going to say what we've done correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true. But
the problem is, like, I don't know how well I know how my divorce went exactly like Johnny's. Like, it was like two completely different stories. But when the stories are so different, because usually when you hear two sides of a story, you can kind of piece it together. Like one, like they kind of sound the same, but
For
one
sure.
person sounds like an ass and the other one doesn't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But in this case, they are so wildly different. The two stories are so wildly different. It's like, so you just got to figure out which one doesn't make sense.
Yep.
So,
and
that's my thing is just
sense.
that was, oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you, Shelby. Oh, you.
Sorry, I'm getting even more of a delay now, so my apologies. I think it's okay though. But yeah, that's why I was kind of just saying, oh yeah, like we need to just find a way to just get rid of her without even having to look into it. The main reason I just say that is because it's so absurdly different, like Les was saying, is you can literally see the side that's telling the truth. Like everybody's going to kind of maybe want themselves to sound good, but yeah, it's just this will always throw me for a loop, is just how obvious it's right in front of us. We see what's happening, and that's the hardest thing for me. Is I probably sound exactly I probably sound like kind of annoying because I'm like, oh, we need to just get rid of her, but no, it's the truth. Like we all know what's going on. Let's just get rid of this woman.
True. Well, I'm hoping we could do this again next week. I don't know if I can. I will try to arrange it with these three great YouTubers. So first off, I want to thank everybody who came to chat. If I did miss a super chat, I truly am sorry. I'm just trying. Like I said, it's hard to do an interview with the YouTubers to keep up with the chat. I'm trying. It's been very difficult. But
yeah, it's hard.
I just want to thank so many of you who've come here. Over 140 I've seen, which is the most I think I've ever had in this chat, which is absolutely incredible.
You guys are awesome.
So I want to thank everybody who's been here. I want especially thank Stevie J Raw for taking his time out. I hope you subscribe to his channel. And Les and Shelbysoup. And even her check Spiritually Empowered Coaching. They're great. I mean, and Shelbysoup, what is wrong with you? Hit that subscribe button. Go check them out.
What's wrong with you?
Thank you.
Check out their videos. They have, and I'm going to say this one personal point. I just met them. Okay. This isn't like I've known them and Stevie a long time. I know Stevie. I first saw Stevie. I said, I'm going to check out his channel. He's talking about this. I want to get more into this. And he educated me, and I learned a bit from him. And I watched Hacker, who was a good buddy of mine. And then I checked out Les's channel and I check out Shelby's. And as I check, I learned, so I said, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, I didn't know that was out. Oh, and it gets me even more involved in this. So I just want to thank you both for taking time out of your life to come here. I've really enjoyed it.
Of course.
I can't believe 2 hours has gone by. I'm like, I was supposed to be here an hour and a half. It's now 2. I'm like, wow, my mind is like blown.
It's easy.
I could probably do this.
When you're with good company.
Yeah, I'd probably do this another 6 hours because the chat is so awesome and they keep throwing things and I'm like, oh yeah, what about that? Oh, what about this? Wait a minute, they mentioned this. And it's just great. And so I want to keep the chat involved because at a personal level, I've gone on channels and they totally ignore the chat. And I'm like, why am I here? If you don't know I'm here, even I send you a super chat, you wouldn't know I'm here. I send you a comment, you don't know I'm here. Why am I here?
Right.
Because apparently you're so involved with your guest, you should have just done a stream with your guests and forgot about us. And I think that's wrong. I think that's the wrong way to do it. I think you should recognize everybody because without them, I wouldn't be here. What would I be here for?
Well, that's just it. Like we could be talking to our cameras all day long. That's fine. But without people watching and sharing and commenting and sharing the same ideas and values and fighting for the same cause, it means nothing. It means nothing for us to be me sitting here recording for my cat. Right? Because that's exactly what would be happening.
In the end, I just really, what I hope, and of course, I mean, I wish the UK order would come out, but I'm going to be honest with you, okay? And I work with judges. It could take months. It could take into next year. We might not hit us to January. I anytime. It could happen anytime. It could happen anytime. I'm not saying it won't. It could happen tomorrow. I don't know.
I checked. I checked the Queen's Court and nothing tomorrow.
Yeah.
I check it daily.
Okay. So I just hope for that justice is served. I hope that Johnny's name gets clear to this, that the Hollywood sees the person he truly is, his demeanor. I hope that he finds someone in his life. I mean, I hear he's dating this one and that one. I'm not sure, but I hope that he just finds someone, and I would wish this for anybody here. Anybody in life, that you find the person that loves you for who you are and what you are, not what you have or what you own. And you find that happiness in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, I would wish that for everybody, no matter who it is, no matter
Everyone
who you
deserves
pick.
that. Every
you know?
single person deserves that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just
For
hope
sure.
I really hope to God that she gets blown out. They expose her and she's never heard from again.
Right? Yeah, that would be lovely.
If
Silence her.
If Aquaman 2 is the last movie she does, which I really hope she doesn't do it, I hope the company's smart enough to realize how angry we're going to be. Because we are. I think I would feel that most of these people who've been through what they've been through are going to say, hell no, am I giving you a dime of my money to see that movie?
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not. I know I've already decided I'm not.
I'm not.
I
Never.
loved Aquaman. I didn't know who Amber Heard was. When I found out she was the Mara, I was like, it was her. I was like, well, if she's in number 2, I'm not going. You're not getting anything from me. I don't care if it's in the theater. I don't care if it's streaming. You're not getting money from me. It's not happening.
I did the same thing. I went to the theater to see Aquaman. That's not something I usually do. It has to be something that I really want to see. But
yeah,
it was a date, and so he's like, "What do you want to see?" I'm like, "That." Like, I want to see Jason with his shirt off. Yes, please. Like, I was honest. I was honest about it. I have no problem objectifying a man for an hour and a half, but I had no idea it was her. And even after, like, everyone's like, oh, she was Mira. I still didn't put 2 and 2 together. She made no impact on me in that movie because my attention was where it should have been, on his muscles. Like, that's exactly where she'd been. And he did a great job, I feel. He did a great job. It was never her movie. So the fact that every time you hear anything about Amber Heard, it's Jason is gorgeous.
I had to throw that to you.
And I gotta say, people always ask me, like, who's my lady crush when it comes to, like, celebrity. I'm like, ooh, Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz's daughter. Because because listen to this. You got Zoe Kravitz, you got her mom, who was a goddamn hottie, her dad, yes please, and now her stepdad. Are you kidding me? I'll take the whole family. That is a genetically blessed family. Like, all over the place. So anyway, but she didn't the only thing you ever hear about Amber is, like, she is the star of Aquaman, or she's Johnny Depp's ex-wife. That's it. She's got nothing else. She's not the talented Amber. She may be the talented Mrs. Ripley, but, like,
she's the abuser.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what we remember.
For a movie that she didn't really make much of an impact in, like, that's what she's known for. And I refuse to go see number 2, which breaks my heart because I really want to see Jason without his shirt off once more. How does one do that and get around Amber at the same time? You can't.
See it on bootleg.
Yeah.
I don't want her assaulting my eyeballs.
So, ladies, anything you want to say about your channels before we get out of here? What's going on in your channels? Would you like to say anything? I'll start with Les. You can start off.
Okay. I will have the police, the 911, and the police. I'm like researching. I'm hoping to record sometime this week. I may do another live Tuesday. I don't know. I'll just let people know. It's kind of an up in the air time for me right now, so I'm trying to get everything out as quickly as possible and live at the same time. So that's me in a nutshell.
Shelby, anything you want to say about your channel?
Yeah, so I'm currently in the process. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this whole, like, algorithm thing, because it's actually frustrating me a lot. I'm trying to figure out the right tags, how to, like, what to do, like, to get it to work. So for now, I don't know when I'll be putting out, like, an actual straight up video next, but I will be having some streams. Like, tomorrow I have a stream with Stevie J Raw.
Nice.
At 2 p.m. Eastern. So, and there's something else I'm working on that's going to take a lot of time to do. I spoke with Les about it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, very excited.
I'll be contacting a lot of people about it. So I'll be contacting Entertainment and Star Wars for it also. A lot of people who can help on that. But yeah, there's something that I'm not going to talk about too much, but yeah, that's in my sights for now. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you both for coming.
having us.
Oh, thank you for coming. And thank everybody in the chat for taking their time and supporting Johnny. We know, listen, we got to, if anybody, we got to support him, because we got to get a word out that abusers aren't the victims. It's the ones who are abused. And you know, I could speak from that from my point of view. I'm sure Les speaks from that from hers. You know, we've been there. And the people who haven't have empathy, like Hacker and Shelby and other people like Stevie J. Yeah, I know I'm coming. So I just want to say, I got to wrap up here. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. It was wonderful. Hope we can do this again. Please make sure you check out those channels. Thank you for everybody who super chatted me, come to the channel, supports us. We'll continue to get it out there. And Shelby, I will hit you up. I'll try to help you out with those things with tags and this and that. I got a couple suggestions and channels that can help you with all that stuff.
It says YouTube doesn't like it when you tag Amber. Yeah, it really doesn't.
Yeah. But we can talk about that, because they get me too with that. But I think we can save that for another stream. We can definitely talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everybody. Take
Bye,
care.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Love you all. Thank you for your support.
You.
Remember, justice for Depp. Don't forget that.
Yes.
Later, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.